who are ultra confident, ultra comfortable. I'm thinking about how ZETA Division got the early starts in both of their halves on Haven. It was down to really clean pistol round, bonus round executes. They're going to start on the attack here. Which team can start and set the tempo early?
Such a narrow angle being held by Ye. The flash pushes him away for but a moment, but Laz wins it out. The head-to-head battle, it goes his way. Now the Boombot sent straight through into the back of the site. FNS forced to swing as well. He knows that Boombot's going to be connecting at some point, and there it is, into the nade. Bit of a wombo combo for them. ZETA Division just taking out all the opposition. As I say that, Crashes comes through, but a close one nevertheless. ZETA Division still winning out the pistol round. A solid beginning for them here on Fracture.
I only have like
Similar way to Haven as we start out. That chamber head-to-head is going to be a crucial element. Desk were talking about these shorty rounds that Laz and Sugar Zero are happy to pull out. We'll take a look at this. With the Headhunter getting the better end of Ye, setting up for the rest of his team to be able to take this space. Japanese fans are happy for that opening, but there is so much work to be done here left for ZETA. And here's a lot of aggression from OpTic kicking things off. Not going for a force buy, but just trying to take some of that space early.
Yeah, the kind of plays you need to be worried about. That explosion of utility, the flashes, the stuns, quick little slide through from Victor, but they do well to shut it down. Only losing depth in the process.
And we're going to see Victor playing Neon for the entirety of this map, obviously, and a lot of the other maps in this series. Victor put up a pretty decent performance on Haven too, and he's a crucial element in 3 of the maps of this pool. They are 6-1 OpTic when he plays Neon. When they play Neon comps, they're 6-1. They're 4-4 in the rest of the maps.
Yeah, it's pretty pivotal. I think that Victor is on that role. You know, it's nice and comfortable for him when he's playing the Neon. They have a lot of set play strategies to support him as well, compared to when he plays, for example, like the KO, and he's having to supplement plays from other players on his team.
Definitely.
It's evident that he's way more comfortable when he's playing that Neon role.
So this means for ZETA too that you're starting an uphill battle. You had a great opportunity to close out map 1, and it slipped away from you. They have to make sure that they capitalize on these advantages. So pistol round goes the way of ZETA. What do they have on the bonus here too? They've managed to actually secure a bunch of Spectres, a Bulldog into round 3 here.
Ult.
Yeah, these are some of the things that they were really good at on Haven, being able to charge up ultimates. The way that Depp was playing right at the front of the pack, farming the ecos to set up for a big ult that can turn the tide in round 3.
Yeah.
And already the attackers moving to a different area, up north at Bridge. Maybe a big burst over towards Dish coming out this round, perhaps?
Yeah, potentially. It looks like Laz as well, just trying to take contact on the other side of things. But try and take Dish control with the player advantage that they've got as well, just swarming it. But do they anticipate this angle? Yeah, he does play up here often.
Yeah, particularly when he has the Tour de Force available. 10 looks like he's cautious of it. Little jiggle peek.
Jiggle peek, he is.
Baits out the shot.
Really worried about it. I mean, again, I think that's just a showcase of prep.
Yeah, really good awareness. They're going to know that the trademark's up here to the top right as well. That gets broken. And ZETA Division are actually exploring a little towards Arcade here too. This might be a bit of a fake, trying to make some noise, still explode through Dish. And sound baiting there from 10. He makes the noise to run away, and that gives FNS the feeling that they're heading towards B, but the spike is still there at Dish. These tiny little things, the mind games playing between these two.
A little tap there of the orb as well, trying to bait some aggression from OpTic. The jiggle peek, Crashies is going to spot a couple of players, but the goal for ZETA Division, you can see, working their way back onto A. This is where they want to end.
I really like the way that they've played the map here, but I think FNS has the read on it. He's starting to lean back again. There's 3 players from OpTic here, and 10 gets taken out before he can use his ult.
Yeah, shut down almost immediately there. Wonderful. Wonderful opening there from Ye. Critical target for it. It's up to Laz to see if he can create some magic in the halls, but not able to get control. So now with only 10 seconds remaining,
left.
just a quick burst onto the site to see desperation from ZETA Division if they can try and get that plant down, but with the spike hitting the deck, unlikely for them. OpTic too disciplined in terms of the crossfires they were playing up there, taking away that gun round.
What a read. A really intelligent read there by FNS and Ye, I think, to realize that the attention towards B was a bait and ZETA Division weren't setting up to explode in a B split, and then Ye holding this angle. It's a super similar one to where he started the round, on top of the box.
10 seconds left.
To find the opening 2 kills, and that's something that they were really struggling with on Haven. We were gassing them up, you know, you're winning the clutches, you're doing so well, oh, it's all about the experience, part of the comeback. But you can't pull that off every map. You can't always be starting down in the rounds, in the first kills.
There.
Bit of a maneuver as well. Fire coming through. That's the showstopper 10. Explosive in his approach towards it, but the flash just pushes him away, forces him to let rip the rocket a little bit earlier than he was anticipating, maybe. But he does gain control the top of tower. Has to respect the stun though, but now looks like OpTic might be setting up for a fast little disruption play, possibly to take away that tower control. Yay, he's just underneath the tunnel, he finds it, crashes with another. The Rolling Thunder to push back. This is ZETA Division, their own little play to try and regain a bit of control onto the map through Arcade, but I think it might be too little too late.
Yeah, they're just stuck in tower, getting pushed back. Marv's just covering and sticking to the fuse. Gorgeous play. What is that from Ye? Yeah. Flanking around, finding the timing. Is that based on prep or what? Sugar Zero just hanging out underneath tunnel, partly in his astral form. Got destroyed here. Definitely felt like Ye was looking for him.
Possibly hearing it in the sound cues.
And then he flanks around again and manages to pick up another kill onto Depp, who's playing that crossfire for the post plant. Very nicely dealt with, and OpTic respond quickly here on Fracture. 2-2 already, and ZETA Division on a broken buy.
It's one of the things that makes OpTic such a danger, I think, to go up against, is that you can do the prep, the legwork, try and counter-strat them to a degree, but when Ye has those Ye moments, he will just open things up for OpTic. One of those players that, you know, they can rely on to just open up a round here and there. And ZETA Division now on the half buy, they're making no attempts to try and hide their presence up towards Dish, just taking the control slightly. Laz looking for an opportunity maybe to take somebody's head off.
Here.
The chamber v chamber fight. They have a good idea of which angles Ye likes to hide. Both looking at each other.
Troy, quickly tap, Ye, doesn't quite get it. Laz as well, the exchange of fire to flick around, but no. Crosshair placement, not there for them. That's a good return. Crash is falling. If they can get into tower, it's going to be a rifle for ZETA Division, but...
And it should be a free plant as well. Crashies went down there. That gets his null command online, but he's not alive to use it.
Nade as well. Not bad to try and push them back for but a moment. So the players, yeah, they're going to be able to get into position here, but they are taking so much damage.
It's Crow that has the spike, and he's full HP. Going to be able to get a plant down in the corner thanks to Depp's wall, which pops up. But Marv, we've seen him in this position before.
What a flick. Fault line into the back, is into the corner. ZETA Division, only the 2 players left alive. The swing, no one really there. With the rest of him, the weaponry, doesn't really matter if the players are covering themselves in this manner. Still Victor runs his way around. A beautiful stun that connects right where he needed it to. He's able to make it just that little bit less dangerous for his team as they put another one on the board.
It got sticky. There was an opportunity there for ZETA Division, but OpTic are confident in these retake situations. They take space early, and they're very aware of the timings that the post planters are going to take. Something that's been very impressive to me as well when you look at Victor's Neon, and why that's been such a successful pick for OpTic, are his stuns. And that might seem like such a niche thing to focus in on,
yeah.
But this guy has put in so much work to getting better at finding value out of them. It feels like he has the timing, the read, he bounces them in the right places, always seems to catch an opponent, and it sets him up for so many more easy entries or easier kills. Victor's utility usage has become excellent on Neon. He's one of the only people that's put serious time into learning it. And there's 10 moving fast. Victor responds, assassinates him, and again uses the stun to separate 10 from the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Isolates the kill, shoots him in the back of the head, execution style. You're gone.
Nobody can follow up from ZETA Division. The re-clear, it's actually the double swing off the back of the flash. Nasty little play. They're still cautious though of this corner. That was where Victor was hiding. He's repositioned now, yeah, straight into the back of this site.
It's a 4v4, and ZETA are actually closer to being able to put off a full exec.
Rolling Thunder, okay.
Victor's going to get caught by this, but he's in such a ratty corner.
Yeah. Still Laz. Good swing as well, just to spot out that one player. Crow at the bottom here, anticipating that there might be somebody trying to play outside of the smoke. It is a fast play. It's the retake straight through halls. OpTic, they want to give up control of this one. Flash over the top. FNS Crashies, I should say, putting that one into the lab.
Here comes the null command.
Yeah, and now the null command is going to set this one up nicely if OpTic can just find a couple more picks. He has crossed the ropes. He's got to catch his timing. He's got to hurry up, but luckily Crow is consistent at it. Locking it down with the anchor plays. Him and Depp. This crossfire is so difficult now for Marv to deal with. He's going to be shut down. 3-3.
The null command really should have given OpTic an advantage there, and Laz was miles away too, really not helping the rest of his team. But Zeta Division win those individual duels, and there were no trades coming through for OpTic. And Laz is so good to clear that angle. But Crow is getting caught here by FNS and manages to flick in time on 30 health. There are just no trades coming through from OpTic.
Another one on the board. Even them Depp. Depp with that lineup as well. That's a lot of early aggression.
Double operator, Bren?
Both teams going to be clashing. The double operator in play.
Spike down B.
Victor with the neon op. Goes down early at the beginning of this round, and there's a Rolling Thunder straight into spawn. They're really trying to push them here.
It's a bit disjointed, though, from the side of OpTic.
An incredibly unusual approach to this defensive round.
They really didn't get any value from it.
An aggressive double op setup where you're using Rolling Thunder to stop the arcade pressure? I mean, super strange. A minute on the clock, Zeta are super happy to just slow this down, freeze the round a little bit. But if they peek here and contact into Ye's operator, they're going to go down.
Teleport ready.
Okay. Smoke put up, put down. Just trying to bait something. Maybe somebody trying to reposition. Completely slow it down. Now, OpTic are sitting pretty comfy in the understanding that this is the B hit. At least leaning towards it. Mainly because of that trademark that's sitting in halls. Hasn't been broken. It's in such a deep position. It's giving them constant information for OpTic to work off of FNS making the calls. But they're running straight into it now.
Yep, trademark going to be broken immediately. What's the response? OpTic start flooding through spawn, and that opens up Sugar Zero to backstab Crashies. Everything on FNS here.
He's got to hold this one. He's got to try and lock it down. That is amazing timing. The orbital strike, it cuts them up into twain. Time running low, and Marv just swings through for 4. That is ridiculous. Sugar Zero left alone on the lurk, but what the hell can they even do? So far away from the spike, Marv realizes it's done.
And he goes down for his trouble, spraying the ceiling, but Marv comes up huge again.
That's insane.
What a play from the hero of Haven.
That's set up as well off of FNS's contact. As soon as he takes contact, orbital strike cuts them up.
And not just that, but FNS is, even though he doesn't find a kill, FNS is tagging 10, and 10 has to stop in order to be accurate, so he stops the push through the choke. Yeah. FNS is challenging them, and they get snarled up inside that Brim ultimate and fried.
Yeah, whether or not that was on the fly or pre-planned in the round as well from the way it was going, but it matters not, because it puts another one for OpTic. This is very interesting in terms of the bridge aggression of OpTic as well. They actually went for a very deep clear at the top of the map. Players have already got a ton of information, so they know now Zeta Division are leaning towards either halls or that tree control area. Okay, with this pixel angle, and he's got his rendezvous up top as well. The guy is safe. Got a south flash there. I think Crashies just sent that one through, but still sound for now.
Victor used his ultimate at the beginning of the round. He's just making sure that there's no pushback over towards tree. So everybody on the rest of OpTic, they're sitting pretty. They know this is going to be an A hit.
Gotta be cautious. Gotta be worried. Still have not pushed Ye off this one angle. He didn't take his rendezvous back. He's still up there. And with time being cut here, it feels like Zeta Division is trying to obfuscate it. That's a great fault line, though. Cuts them up, but still Marv is able to cover it. Just in time. Still, Sugar Zero swinging through the smoke. He's able to get 2. Laz.
30 seconds
last player
left.
standing for them. Not much time left. And with the spike just out in the open. What a task he has.
Crashies makes it utterly impossible for him. OpTic, they take a serious lead here, 5-3 on Fracture in the first half. And I'm seeing the same themes that we saw earlier on Haven, Brent. You see this aggression at the beginning of the round, And that allows all of these players you're watching right now to just be stacked on A. Victor's just on his own towards B, pushing tree. The guy's only got a ghost to hand. He already burned his ultimate at the beginning of the round, but that early round play gave them all of the information, and they know deep in their bones from their VOD review prep, Zeta Division love to be grouped up together at about the minute mark. They're not going to hold these super spread defaults the whole time. They will group and pressure an area, even if it's quiet. I see some serious adaptations and an excellent counter strategy that's been prepared here for OpTic. And I'm not talking about some small, anti-strat where you have a certain shock dart that works really well against them. I'm talking big picture. OpTic are realizing that they can abuse these periods in the round where Zeta Division freeze and cut noise.
Yeah.
And they're abusing that by going for deep flanks and stacking. They can flank with Victor, get all of the information on where Zeta are playing, because they don't see them towards B. And they stack A, and they're able to crush hits. For Zeta Division, on their attack halves, they have had to rely on some monstrous stuff. Either set plays or insane fragging coming out from people like Sugar Zero or 10 to even get them an opportunity. And they're not going to have the economy here as we head into round 9.
I'm curious if they're going to be trying to find anything quirky, something cute to pull out. Plenty of ultimates if they wanted to try and combo something for Zeta Division to steal away around when the economy isn't too strong. They've been no strangers to it in the past. They're willing to commit ultimates into rounds like that, but look at this again. Victor slides across, supplemented with the stun. That utility that's being provided from the back there. FNS sending it all the way through.
But Victor didn't see anything, and now they think it's clear. So Zeta have an excellent timing here to just sneak into arcade. The pop flash re-clears.
That's immense. Swing timing. Oh, Crow does take out Crashies. Victor though still going to be staying anchored into that top nest position. It's being taken though. He doesn't actually realize it around the corner. It's a bit of a whiff on either side. The orbital strike is enough to close it out though. Marv says, "I've got you, fam."
And Debbie flying out the window.
Down. Shots being whiffed all over the bloody shop right now. The quick push through. Laz! Is anybody really going to be dealing with this guy? Now it's up to Ye. Has the operator, but retaking with it. Not an ideal situation. Maybe he can find a rifle, but still, this is Ye we're talking about.
Whenever Ye is left in these situations, though, he's always on the rotate, always in an unwinnable position where he doesn't have great info.
Flash. Gives Ye a bit of info. He knows that there's a player playing in that pocket, but is he going to clear this? It looks like he's realizing it just round the corner. Slight tiptoe, but the thrifty round for Zeta Division. One on the board.
And that's huge. That's all about timing. And Zeta Division find the timing into arcade. And this is that. Opening kill. What a shot from Crow. And then this timing to be able to get back in and punish Victor again. Laz finding the timing through the smoke. I mean, it's all just based around catching OpTic when they're not prepared.
Yeah. Those instinctual plays. The reliance on the rest of your team. Fans popping off.
And OpTic take a timeout. They want to take a deep breath here. That early round aggression gave them the wrong information, so maybe they just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page in terms of how they're coordinating these early round plays. Or perhaps they have a completely different outlook on where the rest of the half should go. There's only going to be 3 more rounds here as we head into round 10. OpTic's economy is not in a great place either.
Yeah, heading into this next one. The composition, I think when they showcased it as well previously, I mean, it's so execute heavy, so it obviously leans towards these early takes of control, especially on that defense side. We've seen them pushing everything into arcade or bridge control, just trying to clear it out and get that early information. But it feels like Zeta Division just being able to slow down these rounds, despite the fact that we were kind of not critical of it, but pointing out that OpTic were abusing that point. It's definitely worked out for them in that last round.
I think it just comes down to whether Zeta have the timing to be able to get back into areas.
Yeah.
If OpTic clear an area out, can you survive? Can you remain hidden? And can you re-clear? Those are all really difficult things to get right.
Fault line. Gets onto it. Flash to push through. 10. Rifle in hand after shock just to push him off to the side. He is so low here, but he has his team to back him up. Running right around the corner, but they are running into these OpTic players. The pistols in hand. Doesn't really matter. They've taken so much damage in the process. A quick little spray and sidestep 10, removing FNS from it.
Just buy time here for Victor. That's the game plan for Crashies coming around behind.
The flash, oh, a little bit of a whiff comes through, but he just about
Spike
salvages
down
it.
A.
The spray control is there, and with the spike down now, a minute on the clock. There's a cute little Viper's pit to try and cut them up from the spawn side, but they just did not anticipate that quick flank that was being played by OpTic.
And yeah, and Victor have a great anti-clutch setup right now until Depp opens the door. If he goes for it, he's taking a massive gamble. But from our point of view, you could tell it works, and he doesn't go for it. He tries to keep his Viper's pit alive, and they're going to double swing this. Who comes out on top?
Down to the reaction times for the players. They line up for it. Softened up there, a thrifty win. So back and forth.
What a great anti-clutch setup from OpTic. One high, one low, able to double face on the angle, spike down in front of them. That's not something you practice particularly. That's just an area of the map where they've got a perfect angle onto. I mean, I guess that's almost like a post-plant setup, if anything.
Just the on-the-fly decision making.
Yeah, a great call. And like I was saying, there was an opportunity for that to go a little weird if Depp had tried to pressure door, but there's no way of him knowing that. He would have to take such a massive gamble, and now the economy just swings so far back in the other direction. Back-to-back 50 rounds won. And OpTic now commanding control of the half.
ZETA were able to afford a couple of rifles, but it's not much to work with. It's deep smoke in halls from OpTic as well. Just pushes away any early attempts of ZETA to get control of that one area of the map.
Crashies has the null command here, but he's very deep on the B site. It feels like they're anticipating a breach or raise ult execute on B here. Little fault line into the aftershock. Keeps people back a little.
And the noise they're making, it's pulled Marved over towards this side of the map. Be aware that Ye is just holding that angle through. Still the players flooding now. Into Sand Marved. He might be able to get an immaculate timing.
Crashies.
He's
Crashies is booking it over with his null command.
And there we go. As soon as that play comes through, they can hear the footsteps running through. FNS just tries to hold the slight angle, but they're just dropping out away from it. Yeah, not able to just hold down that one angle. In fact, I'm pretty sure he rendezvoused back, just not in time for them. And they only had 2 rifles to work with, Josh.
30 seconds left.
Back to back to back, thrifty rounds being won. Nobody can convert when they have rifles on board. And OpTic knew what was going on. They just weren't ready for the aggression. The timings that ZETA have been able to find are really pushing them outside of what OpTic are expecting. Victor's just going to save this one by the look of it, even though the economy is in a decent position. This is rattling back and forth.
So much money for him. Still making the decision to do it, though.
And honestly, ZETA didn't even use any massive tools that they had at their disposal. They still have the Rolling Thunder, still have that Raze ultimate to be able to work with in the future rounds to try and tie this one up at the half. Neither team willing to give an inch to their opponents. No round is safe.
Yeah, I think what's been showcased for both of these teams, they've had a tremendous journey in this tournament so far. Especially ZETA Division in this lower bracket run of theirs. You can't underestimate them. Nobody is underestimating at this point, I'm sure. No. OpTic or not. I mean, we're in the lower bracket finals, for God's sake.
Both of these teams know how to win at a disadvantage. They know what it's like to lose as well. Both teams lost in the groups, lost in the upper bracket. That's what put them down here, but they've battled back. Both shown grit, resilience to get to this spot. And you can see it in the gameplay. They just refuse to lose.
Yeah, he pops it. Tour de force to hold down halls. It's a good knife.
Can't use that.
That's once more information gathered. ZETA going for that classic just cut of it as well, making sure that they obfuscate any sort of push that's coming through. That's an attempt by OpTic. You can see Crashies, he actually pop flash from the top there. Different elevations. Victor has to back though. Getting caught by that flash. The counter utility. This time though, 10 pops off the ult, didn't spot the player. He's been pushed back by all of it coming his way. Still the rocket in hand. It just goes against the wall, but Crashies is low. Now the nade into the corner. Wants the angle, 47 health to his name once more. It's not going well for ZETA Division here in the final round of the half. Players will have to come up with some huge moments if they want to try and win this one, and this might be it. Depp, he pushes through the smoke. Yado watching that angle, the tour de force just about spots Crow's leg. Now, why not? Rolling Thunder gets expended.
Victor runs away from it.
Victor just runs away, sprints away, and they've got the crossfire set up. OpTic going to be walking away the 7-5 half.
Pretty similar to map 1. I mean, the score line at least, but the method in which we got here, very different. What a final round. Really impressive the way that Crashies just controlled B Tower. You're going to see a different approach from both of these squads, whereas, you know, ZETA Division like to put their Astra there and a Shorty there and, you know, Laz with the chamber. You're seeing Crashies use his Fragment Grenade and use his flashes to bait out all of that Raze utility. Both of these teams have a great idea of how to play the maps, and it could not be closer.
Absolutely. Let's throw it down to our desk as well to break down the first half of what we just seen.
Thank you very much, Bren and Sideshow. Yeah, they cannot be any closer. A similar scoreline for the first half, but Doug, this time in OpTic's favor.
Yeah, I think there's actually... I so badly want to start looking at the next half already because there are so many fun things to talk about, but I do think overall OpTic looked very good on the defensive half. The concerns that we had around pistols have, for the most part at least, although it's only been one half, been assuaged. So they're in a much better place than they were previously. I just need to see them pull it off on the second half.
Yeah, I think the main thing going into that second half is thus far we have seen some really solid play out of Victor. I think some of the delay style as well that we actually had out from the remainder of the team to allow him for those quick rotations, it almost shows what's coming up in the next half. There is going to be a lot of setup play that is based around this man in particular. If he's on form, nothing ZETA can do.
This is the big thing, is that when you're countering a team, you're not necessarily going to see it on attacking halves. That's when the ebb and flow of them adapting to you is. When the counter comes in, that's when you're on your defensive half. We won't have seen it yet. If they're countering Victor, this is the half for us to see it. And if they are going to be, you know, hiding with shorties and nebulas or whatever it is that they're going to be doing, the counter will be very evident in the first, I'm going to say 5 rounds. We will know whether or not they've effectively countered OpTic. Otherwise, I see OpTic running away with this pretty quickly.
I was about to say, if it's 5 rounds, they'll only need 1 more if the counter is failed.
There you go.
The pace at which they run their attacking half on Fracture is probably the most impressive, and I think that's why we talk so much about counters. That's pretty difficult to do because it's overwhelming on how OpTic approach the attacking half off of the Neon, as we mentioned. So, yes, I think counter has been the key to success for ZETA previously. This is a big ask, though, to counter something like that.
Well, everybody, we have our eyes set on Victor after what he did on Fracture yesterday. I don't blame you guys, so let's throw this back into the second half with Bren and Sideshow.
And for good reason that Victor's, I think, the focal point here heading into this one. This guy, I mean, he's the centerpiece, I think, of a lot of these fast, aggressive executes that the desk was talking about.
Absolutely. Already 12 and 5 up as well. Had a real control of the game in that defensive half, being able to apply so much aggression. Well, now the script's flipped. Looks like a bridge crunch here for ZETA Division on their pistol. Looking at the north of the map. We've got a boombot heading up. It's kind of slow-paced. It seems like they were really waiting for that ghost noise to start the pinch on Marv. And he's out of there.
They're going to be able to catch the timing. The angle, no way! Whoa. 10 just rips across the screen and eventually finds it, but it's the response that's there. Instantaneous from OpTic. They realize they can take all of this space. They're going to have this site now. Their control. FNS making the call as well to try and work their way into their spawn off the back of his flash.
Spike planted.
They're going to run into the trademarks here, doubled up in spawn, so they know that there's a serious flank going on. Depp is getting pressured here. There's a Depp battle against Victor over here.
Digital peek, and Victor wins it.
And Depp, he had a great map at 1, but this map 2 on Viper has not been going his way, and now Victor's just unleashed back into A-Link.
Pressure being applied now with the nade sent through. Crashies, he is being spammed up top. It's a great flash to try and push back the aggression, the approach that's coming out their way. The fault line from FNS as well does a decent job, but now the double swing pistols, the time running low. The right clicks FNS, he can't quite find it, but is it still going to be enough for them? For ZETA Division, the answer's going to be a resounding no. Time just burnt down far too much.
And there's what the desk are looking at, the first pistol round win for OpTic, as they find an answer here and are able to get the half off to a decent start. Nice opening kill by 10. I mean, in some sense, Marv is just a sitting duck, but he is flying quickly, and there's a tiny time window to punish him. But overall there, I love the call from FNS in the middle to go and take spawn control away when they realize the flank is coming through, just sets Victor up for success. And that's what this map is about, setting the Neon up for success. And they're going to go for a B exec over towards Arcade, but they're 1 player down already.
If they've done their homework, they should know. With Ye just lurking towards that bottom area of the map. That pickoff is massive, but they got to anticipate this. Still OpTic With the noise cut, Victor sends in the stun as well right into the back, gets more information for them. The better weapons in hand. Or 10 has to make a quick decision to try and focus one of the targets down. Only gets FNS.
This round very quickly dealt with by OpTic.
Amazing for OpTic so far.
Yeah, it's been really clean. They're great at being able to use the information they get on the other side of the map. I mean, yeah, gets peeked and goes down, sure, but OpTic have already taken so much of B. And for ZETA and for Crow, who's the IGL of this team, he just didn't anticipate the timing.
Yeah.
He doesn't think about how quick Victor can be into that position and how little he's worried when he sees a tree push coming through about the same thing happening on Arcade. Now OpTic are in a commanding position where they can win a bonus here potentially and go up to a very large lead.
Converting this. Detrimental to Zeta Division.
Ooh, Victor's got...
Okay, a bit of a whiff there on the fast lane. They do that setup all the time.
But he failed it.
He did,
that was supposed to be a
wall.
fake. It was supposed to be a fake, and now it's utterly ineffective because Victor doesn't hit the wall.
They are going to immediately take space off of it. Walking. Quiet now. Just seeing how much they can take away from Zeta Division without them realizing. 10's holding this off angle. He has no real support other than himself.
Victor with his silent little dash peeks, seeing if he can get some information. 10's going to get challenged here.
Straight through. That's going to be the flash as well, just to support him. That came from the back. I believe that was Crow as soon as the door opened. Holding on to the snake fight. 45 seconds in the round, still the noise being cut. But now it's about to get much more heated for them. Swinging straight through the door. Marv wins it out. The Bulldog in hand. Yeah, he's still finding it difficult to try and push and take space onto this side, but a flick of the wrist. I mean, how does he do it? Taking out players. Sugar Zero desperate to hold on to any sort of control, just playing, weaving in and out of the smoke. And Laz, well, he's going to support him as well, making sure that he can't be pressured from that one side.
Sugar Zero with the trade, racing down into a 1v1, and Victor with a flick takes down a Zeta Division Smokes player. They convert the bonus, and it started out so far away from where their playbook wanted. The plan clearly to run a fake and didn't quite work. They had to adapt on the fly. Team flashes happening over towards door, but they are just nasty in these clutches.
Yeah. The consistency, the reliance on Ye, but Victor in this moment, I mean, 16-5. The centerpiece of so many of their plays and the fans. I mean, anguished, I think is the word I would use.
Heartbreak for them as they see OpTic so close to being able to put another map on the board. Victor just spraying into the smoke, takes out Sugar Zero. You know that Sugar Zero likes to make those kind of plays. He's been such a smoke criminal over the course of the tournament. But for that to work so perfectly, Victor baits out the raise nade as well, and they're pivoting fast over to A. They are faking this B execute and taking A. This is the adaptation that OpTic have coming into this half. They're 2 steps ahead.
The layers upon layers that FNS is applying as well, making these calls still. That spam just straight through the smoke. 10, the common plant location. Seeing if he can just connect it onto anybody else, but he finds another one. Should theoretically be in safe hands with OpTic, working with all of these guns, but Laz has popped his ultimate still now, the final player left standing. Already rattled off 2 bullets from the Tour de Force. Much more to work with.
Yeah, looking for the peak here as well.
Beautiful flick. Not much left in the tank though. Has to use the Headhunter now as he works his way around. Now the players are weak. FNS, the jiggle peek. He knows it's around this corner. Holding the utility. Laz comes through. The aftershock, is that too high? He missed. He's whiffed it. Sticking it in the process though, but Victor salvages it. What a round. It could have been disastrous for OpTic. But in the end, once more, they add another one to the tally. 11-5.
I love the idea here from OpTic. They've faked this pressure before, and they know that there's going to be a counterplay.
That's absurd.
I mean, you know that they've done preparation, and that could have been so close. I mean, Laz was potentially could have just stuck it through, but thought he needed to take the duel.
Yeah.
And Bren, we have seen this on map 1, 11-5, a team taking a commanding lead, and OpTic with a team down, able to dig deep and rally back, ended up taking that first map in overtime. Does Zeta Division have the same heart? Are they able to pull back? They've demonstrated it time and time again in the tournament so far.
Yeah. I don't think it's up for question, really. I mean, we've seen it. The lower bracket run this team has made has been outstanding. But this is the biggest challenge that they faced yet.
You could have said that about many of their opponents
Sure.
on the run.
Yeah.
You could have said that about...
It's probably a line that we've all used, I think, when we've been casting Zeta Division.
I know, because it has been such a dream run for them. But OpTic have aspirations for the title itself. That was what they had stated even at the very beginning, coming in here. They have such an attitude to try and convert this. How does map 2 Fracture differ to Haven? Are we going to witness another insane comeback? Or can OpTic close things out here?
Such a hard ask for them, I think. You see Victor again to practice stuns as well, just to whittle their way around either side of Dish. Quick control being taken.
OpTic had some fantastic plays around this area of the map to dismantle Loud previously. And Marv is just working his way in the tunnel here too. A huge amount of ultimates to be able to be used for OpTic. Clearing out Arcade with diligence, but also without making any noise. So Ye and Marv have cleared this area. They know that there's been no aggressive push. And the spike starts to come back. This is probably going to be a B-split.
Laz is going to be so important to try and shut down this approach.
I think Victor's going to fake again. This is, again, the same kind of game plan.
That's why Laz is important. Holding the operator on top of Generator. Ye. Smoke just over the top. Is there an angle for it? A flash, and he finds it. One of the marks found, but he knows that now Arcade has been compromised. Still, with enough time in the clock, they are instantly pivoting because look at the A site.
And Marv goes down. This is a 3v5, but I've seen OpTic win these before. I'm not counting them out by any means. Zeta Division have full control over B, but there goes the spike, OpTic. FNS for couriering this over. Gets the plant down, that's his Rolling Thunder online. All 3 players from OpTic have their ults available, and Crashes finds a pick on maybe the most important player.
It's incredibly heads up as well, just to try and catch that lurk timing. Knowing he can do it, and now he regroups. They have to clear this through. They have to do it well. Victor just gets dashed through. He just wants straight past it. The showstopper gets nothing done. And OpTic, you said they've done it before, Josh, in the 3v5. Right now, they've already taken out so many members of Zeta Division. One step closer, potentially. The round just looks almost secured.
The fast lane even saved until the very end. And yeah, Crow, lads, they call it off. They're going to allow OpTic to get up to map point here. Fracture slipping away from them, not the same level of comeback that we saw in Haven at all. OpTic rally back from having 2-player disadvantage. And none of their players at the end there were in positions to play off each other. Crashes makes a play here. Victor on his own, doesn't get cleared properly, and runs away from that Raze ult. The showstopper just finding nothing. And the Rolling Thunder able to push everybody else back. OpTic's individual ability in the clutch is monumental. It just seems like too much of a mountain for Zeta to climb right now.
You'd have to pull out something special for Zeta Division to claw their way back into this one.
Let's play.
They've got a couple of rifles, Spectre in hand, ultimates of course, but
is this going to be the only time they actually run the B exec?
I mean, it seems like it might be. The final blow is what they're aiming for. Nade straight over the top, but the timing that Sugar Zero is trying to take, just trying to weave his way again through all this utility. It matters not. OpTic with an amazing advantage. With Sugar Zero and Laz falling, it's all up to just Deb, Crow, 10 and 10 just jiggle peeking around, does not anticipate it. FNS, slight whiff from him. Marv commits the orbital strike. It pushes all the players straight into them. And they shut it down just like